Hey, how you doing? This is Building with Papa. This video is about installing a door in a pocket door frame. Okay, now there's several different ones that you could use. I'm using a non-mortised door called a door slab, and this is how you install it. Okay, I hope this video helped you. Like, subscribe, and ring that bell. All right, thank you. Okay, this is the pocket door frame. You can go back to the other video on how to install a pocket door frame. But anyway, here it is. I'm showing you the frame. This is what it would look like once the drywall is around it. This is the header that has the track up in top. This is the end piece, okay, called the jamb, and that package was the hardware for installing the door inside this frame. It consists of rollers and other parts, which I am going to show you before we set this door. So this is the door. This is the top of the door. It is a hollow core slab door, meaning nothing is mortised. This is that hardware that was in the bag. Okay, you'll see the rollers, you'll see the clips that go on the top of the door, the guides. Okay, the first thing you have to do is mark the top of your door from the end over 5 inches on each side of the top of the door. Then you'll see how the clips go. Okay, now you're going to have to put the rollers in the top track. Take your roller, run it up the jamb, and then install the first rollers in the top track. Slide it up. It slips into the track. Get the second set of rollers in behind it and slide it all the way over to the other end. Now you have 2 sets of these, so you're going to have to do this one more time with your next set of rollers. Okay, also try and keep it about 5 inches away from each end when you put them in. You're still going to have to move them a little bit when you go to install the door so they line up with the clips that you've already put on the top of the door. Okay? Okay, now before you install the door, you have to take off these blocks. These are on the face frame of the pocket, keeping them separated so it doesn't move when you hang your drywall and do other things. All right, now we're going to install the door. We've already put the clips on the top. The track is up there and the rollers are in there. Now your clips, you have the open side facing you. Okay, pick it up, slide, tilt it down, slide the door into this hole, lift it up so the ends go to the rollers, and pull it toward you and it'll pop in. If you don't have the rollers in the right location, move them to get right into that slot. Once you do, it's hooked in, push your door in the slot, move it to the pocket. Okay, now you have installed your pocket door. It's inside your frame. It slides nice and smoothly. Okay, now look at all your edges. This one is lining up really nice to the jamb. It looks really good. The header, or the other side of the jamb, looks very good. The gaps are really good. The header, the gap looks good also. We may have to make a little bit of adjustment, but I think it came out very well. As long as you install it properly and everything plumb, it should go in very nicely for you. Okay, there's those screws in the top, the rollers. I'm going to show you how to adjust them. This way, if you need to adjust it, you can. It'll raise the door one end or the other. Okay, this is that wrench that came in the hardware. This is what you're going to need to adjust the door to the nuts that are up in the top by the rollers. All right, here we go. This is what you see up inside above the door, the top track, the nuts that I showed you. Now you're just going to turn that so it comes down to the top of the clip. That's going to secure the door so it doesn't move up and down on you when it's rolling back and forth. Okay, once you bring that down far enough, then you're going to go to the bottom nut and you're going to adjust that to maybe raise the door up a little This one needs just a little bit of raising on that end, not much at all. So I want to get this nut down tighter first. Okay, it's a little tough because there's not a whole lot of room, but just work at it. I'm doing this while I'm holding the camera and trying to do it at the same time. Without having to hold the camera, it's a lot easier. But this is what you have to do. Once you get them secured in place, then the door's not going to raise or lower on you because it will all be tightened up. Okay, here are the guides that are on the bottom of the door. You screw them to the frame. Now you can put them on before the trim, then you have to notch around the trim, or you can put them on after. Whatever you prefer. It looks better if you notch the trim so that the trim sits tight and you don't see these. The problem with that is if you ever have to adjust it, you have to take the trim off. Now the trim you're putting up, you need to cut the top at a 45. Okay, the legs and the header. This way they come in nice and tight and you're going to be able to putty caulk and paint them and make it look just nice. Now your trim is thicker on one edge. That's the edge that goes towards the door. Okay, it's rounded on the other edge. I like putting the header in first because it's going from end to end. And with your header piece, the wood is right there at the edge of the door. So you just go ahead and nail off one side. And then look at the other one, bring it to that edge, nail it off, and go ahead and nail the rest of it. Now that's right on the edge, looks nice and straight. Now here, you go ahead and you put in the piece on the jamb. Go ahead and line it up at the top, tack it off. Now look at your piece. It's going to line up with your jamb. Just keep the spacing the same consistently. And it'll all come out and turn out really nice. So just go ahead and do each side. This way now I've gotten all three on the one side, and then I'm going to have to do the exact same thing on the other side. This trim covers up all the gaps, but also keeps the door from moving in or out. This finishes it off really good. I've used a raw trim. You can use a painted trim, but being the jamb is raw, I just went ahead with the raw materials. So just go ahead, get that all done, and then we're going to move on to the next step. Well, you know, if you have any comments, you want to ask any questions, please do so. I will respond. I sometimes don't get back to them right away, but I will. As you watch me here, just go ahead and completing up this trim. Then we're going to go on to the next step, which will be the casing. And you can buy your casing 7 foot tall, and you can cut everything from that. So here's some of the casing that I used. Again, you're going to need to cut it on a 45. I have a miter saw, but if you don't have it, you can cut in a miter box. It takes a little longer, but if that's all you have and you're trying to do a door around your home, that'll work just fine. Just take your time, measure twice, and cut once. Okay? Well, now that I've got the pieces cut, I'm going to go ahead and put them on around this door. Now, when I stand this leg up, I look at the gap and the top piece of the trim. And I want that distance to be the same that I see the corner is at the top to the side. So I just tack off the end. Now I put in the top. So I know that the two distances are the same. I tack that off. Now I put in my third leg. And I get the same distance off the side. Tack it. Bring down my top. Now, all the way around the trim, everything looks exactly the same. Didn't have to use a level or anything. I used a level when I installed the pocket door frame. And it was evident that it all worked out well because the door fit perfectly. It was nice and plumb. It wasn't too loose. It was really just slid in there. And everything worked out really good. Okay, everything's ready now for putty, caulk, and paint. All right, now I did not install the door lock at this time, but I will do that and show you on another video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please make a comment, like, subscribe, and ring that bell. All right, see you in the next one.